So imagine this. A leader has been on a 40-year mission, and he's right on the cusp of seeing it all come true. But he won't be the one to cross the finish line. That right there is the setup for the entire book of Deuteronomy. It's not just some dry list of laws, it's really a series of powerful, final speeches from Moses to his people. Okay, let's dive into this amazing story of leadership and a nation's final transition. I mean, the stakes here could not be any higher. Think about it. An entire generation has lived and died out there in the wilderness. And now their children, this new nation basically forged in the desert, are standing at the very edge of the land they've been promised for decades. Literally everything they have ever endured has led them to this one single moment. And the book just opens right up with that line. It immediately drops us right there with them, on the plains of Moab. So this isn't supposed to feel like some dusty historical record. It's framed to feel like a really personal, direct speech from Moses himself, the guy who's led them through, well, everything. So before they can move forward, Moses knows they need to look back. He kicks off his speech by recounting their history, reminding them of all the key moments, the good, the bad, the triumphs and the failures that brought them to this very spot. It's a classic leadership move, right? You got to know where you came from to understand where you're going. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Look at the incredible contrast in time on this slide. The text points out that the journey from Mount Horeb to the edge of the Promised Land, a place called Kadesh Barnea, should have taken about 11 days. An 11-day trip. But here they are in the 40th year. That little detail isn't just trivia. It's this powerful, unspoken reminder of just how badly things went off the rails along the way. So how did this all get started? Moses takes them all the way back to the beginning, to the divine instruction they got at Mount Horeb. This was, for all intents and purposes, the original mission briefing. You can just feel the energy in these words. This wasn't a suggestion. It was a command, just filled with urgency and momentum. The time for waiting and learning was over. It was time to act, to move, to finally go and claim their future. And the goal here? It was huge. This map really shows the sheer scale of what they were promised. I mean, we're talking about a massive territory, stretching all the way from the Mediterranean coast, way up north to Lebanon, and deep into the Fertile Crescent to the great Euphrates River. So yeah, the promise was just as epic as the journey was long. But, with a huge mission come huge challenges, and not always the ones you'd expect. Moses pivots from the grand vision to a really human logistical problem that popped up almost right away, the sheer size of the population. This is the beautiful simile Moses uses to describe his people. But what's so clever here is how he frames it. What was once a blessing, this incredible growth, was now becoming a massive headache to manage. A small tribe had exploded into this massive, mobile nation, and their leadership structure just couldn't keep up. And this is where Moses gets incredibly honest. He basically admits, I can't do this alone. And that's not weakness. That's some profound wisdom. It's a timeless leadership lesson, really. For any group to succeed, the model has to grow beyond just one person. One person just can't scale, but a system can. And that brings us to what is honestly one of the earliest recorded examples of strategic delegation. Moses proposes a whole new system to manage the complexities of this massive community, one that's designed to build a much more sustainable structure for the future. Now, notice the collaboration here. Moses doesn't just force this new system on everyone from the top down. He presents the problem and asks the people to pick their own qualified leaders. And they agree. That buy-in is absolutely essential for any kind of major organizational change. And here's the system itself. It's a clear hierarchical structure designed to spread out the responsibility of governing and justice. It's basically a pyramid of command that makes sure everyone has access to a leader and that problems get solved at the lowest possible level. Pretty smart. But look, a new org chart is totally useless without a shared code of conduct. So Moses lays out the core principles for these new judges. The foundation of this whole system is fairness, period. Judge impartially, listen to everyone equally, and don't be afraid of powerful people. The only cases that get escalated are the really tough ones, which establishes a clear chain of command. Okay, so with that whole internal structure sorted out, Moses' story jumps forward in time. The people are organized, and they've traveled through what he calls that vast and dreadful wilderness, which sounds intense. They're now ready for the final step before they go in, a little reconnaissance. They've made it. Kadesh Barnea. This is the staging ground, the very border of the land they've been promised. After all those years of wandering, they can finally see their destination. You can just imagine the tension and the anticipation in the air. Now, here's a really fascinating detail Moses throws in. In his retelling, he says the idea to send spies actually came from the people. It wasn't a divine command this time. The people wanted some intel on the best routes and the cities, and Moses agrees, saying the idea seemed good to him. So they put the plan into motion. 12 men are picked, one representing each of the tribes. This isn't some random squad. It's a unified, representative team for the whole nation. And off they go, into the hill country, to see for themselves if this promise is the real deal. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Everything is now hanging on what they report back. Is this land actually worth fighting for? Was this whole journey worth it? The report comes back, and it's a big thumbs up. The spies return with actual proof, fruit from the land. And their conclusion is so simple, but so powerful. It is a good land. The promise has been verified. The objective is worthwhile. So that's where Moses kind of hits pause on his history lesson. But just think about where they are at this moment. They have a divine command to go forward, a land that's been confirmed to be good, a brand new leadership system that's working, and a unified plan. All the pieces for success are there. And yet, we know they're still standing there 40 years later, which leaves us with a critical question. With everything going for them, what could possibly go wrong?